Good morning. How are you today? Talk about a gray day. As you can see, there are like bands of gray and green out today. And our two biggest issues hover over us, probably occupying all our semi-conscious thinking. And the two issues are, will Trump steal an election he has no right to win, not either objectively nor based on the campaign that Biden has run? And the second thing is the pandemic. There's a surge. It's more dangerous every day. We're losing more than 1,000 people a day, or we did yesterday. And the number of infections is huge. And I take it to mean that the deaths reflect the fact that the large infections are now affecting people. They're actually dying because of it. In my personal experience as a trial lawyer, I get a notice yesterday that they want to have trials, courtroom trials, juries, witnesses, court officers in the courtroom. And when I finish this walk today, I'll be drafting a motion objecting in the case I'm handling that not only am I not a suitable person to be standing in a courtroom, especially because my wife has some challenges and I can't bring that home, but also it's unconstitutional, it seems to me. Fundamental fairness. I have to be able to talk to my client. I have to be able to see people without masks. I have to know that the people who come into the room are being tested, and they're not. They're going to ask them questions. And if I want to consult with my client in the courtroom, we have to ask for a delay and then go out of the courtroom. That's kind of one of the issues, and it's personal to me, but it's a national problem because there are courts all around the country that are trying to open up. And this is the phenomenon between the people who wear a mask and those who don't think they need it, between the science and, if you will, the primitives. We have the primitives are people who, for a political reason, think because they get away with it day one, day two, that there's nothing there. It's like a kid touching a stove until they discover it's hot and get burnt. And you have the daily statistics, so how could you not know it? I also have a case in the state system. I have an inmate in a prison, and I've asked that he be released, even if he is at home spending his sentence, because there are people getting the infection, and then there are deaths in the prison. And in fact, he's in the prison that has the worst statistics in the whole state. There are 40 different institutions. And the state comes back and says, oh no, we're doing everything safe. Well, since I first thought to file this, and then did file it, and since they filed a motion to dismiss our habeas petition, the number of infections have increased. So whatever they're doing, obviously, is not working objectively. Quod erat demonstrandum. The thing about what we're going through between this administration and the pandemic, which are kind of the big issues, is one of the things that we're all familiar with, change management. And I'm a Taurian, except I think in law and politics in terms of my flexibility. And everybody differs in some way or other. But if you don't change when you need to, like in these two crises, you and I decide to vote against Trump. You and I decide to take care of ourselves, to be more careful because of the pandemic. And then others don't. And then others vote for Trump. And so we suffer the consequences of, if you will, the science crowd, us, versus the primitives, them. And how do you possibly reconcile those two? I love it that we're all in this together and we should work together. But plainly, that's not what's going to happen. It's nice language. But we have to both win, and we have a lot of work to do against some resistance to bring the nation back to sanity in medicine and sanity in law and order in government. So those are our objectives. We're getting close enough that the feeling we all must have is, are we there yet? Well, we will be there on the election next Tuesday, and the days following as the painful aftermath unfolds, if you will, meaning the challenges if it's not an overwhelming election. But the pandemic is with us for another year, and we're dealing with a surge now. So don't be hypnotized by those who are the primitives to think that it's safer than it is, so that we'll all come out of this safe and sound. Get out. It's cold here, as you can tell by my chapeau. And, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.